I recently completed a project where I can use this 1000 watt DC to AC inverter to take power from a 2014 Toyota Prius and convert it to AC power to run household appliances during a power outage. As with all fossil fuel generators, I can't run it in the garage, which means the vehicle has to be parked outside during use, and we need to run a power cord all the way into the house to the refrigerator. I do have several extension cords that I could possibly use, so let's investigate. We come down to this orange one, which is about the right length. It's about 50 feet, which is what I need. But this is a 16 gauge conductor, which is a bit too thin for what I need to use. So we step up to a thicker conductor, which would be a 14. The lower the number in gauge, the thicker the conductor. This is 14, which would probably suffice, except for the problem that it's only about 8 feet long. So that brings me to this cable, which is 12 gauge. It's 100 feet, which is a bit too long, but you'll see that even though this is a 12 gauge, which is very thick, it is still highly flexible, which is what we really need. So I could conceivably cut this down, but this does serve a purpose when I have to make long runs with appliances on the outside. So I'd rather not sacrifice this cable, which means I have to pick up something new. When shopping for an extension cord, I looked for a cord that could handle the voltage, the amps, and the wattage. My inverter only outputs 1000 watts, but it can go all the way to almost 2000 on a surge. I also looked for an outdoor rating, since this has to be an indoor and outdoor conductor. This is heavy duty. Importantly, it is UL certified. It is also all copper. It is not copper clad. And it has a wire gauge of 12 and a length of 50 feet. I ended up choosing the DuroMax, not because it was the most expensive, but because it was one of the least expensive cords out there, but seemed to have all the right features. A triple tap that's lighted when the unit is energized, 100% copper, 12 gauge, highly flexible, UL rating. Seems like it's the perfect extension cord. Let's open this up. With the cover removed, we can see our triple tap, and it has a transparent head on it, so you can actually see how they wire everything up. They're using a bus system to get power to the 3-prong polarized taps. Here's the back side of it, and they have it for ground, power, and neutral. And then on the plug-in side, again, a transparent head, so you can see how things are wired up. And it seems it's a heavy gauge, kind of a sticky, grippy texture to it. And it is indeed 12 gauge. It says so on the cable. So has the typical required warning labels. So I'm going to cut off the ties. We're going to plug it in and see how it lights up. I've placed a plug tester at the receptacle so that we can see that this is correctly wired up. Pull that out of the way. Plug our extension cord into it. If we come up to the tap, we see that it does indeed light up. It's kind of a rose-colored glow to it. Not yellow, not quite red. So now we're going to plug in our tester to make sure that this is correctly wired. 2 yellows indicate it's correctly wired. And of course, since they're using a bus system, you wouldn't expect that to change. But now we know all 3 taps work correctly. I now plug in a digital multimeter into the receptacle to get the line voltage, and I plug one into the output of the tap on the extension cord, and we see that there is a difference of just under 1 volt over a distance of 50 feet. And for those who are curious, no, the light does not cause this to warm up at all. And finally, when you go to disconnect, you have plenty of plug to grab onto to make a clean disconnect. I can certainly recommend this 12 gauge extension cord. The only complaint I would have is it does have kind of a foul plastic odor to it, but I imagine that will dissipate over time. But if you're looking for a 12 gauge indoor or outdoor cable with triple head that's lit when the cord is plugged in, then this DuroMax extension cord is worth getting. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.